Okay, so this is going to be for uploading to each of the nodes. You just see I have the micro USB connected to the USB-A. So in order to get this to work, first you're going to need to go into this part right here at the top of the IDE and select other boards and ports. Then go in here and look up the Arduino MKR WAN 1310. Then hit OK. You might just need to change this part right here if it's not working. Then you can go into your file. Yep. Okay, once you have the file open, all you should need to do is change this part right here to the correct node, which should be taped onto the box, which is just 102 for this. So this is fine. Then you can debug or upload. So click debug first. It's starting to debug. You might need to click buttons at the bottom of here just to verify or something. This is sort of what the output should look like before anything can run. Then you can upload. And it'll compile it. Okay. You might need to go in and re-edit this if it's not working. But this is what it should look like when it's working. This is the kind of output that you're going to get. And this is just uploading to this, uploading to the node. Once that's done, you can remove the cords. There you go. Then you can plug this in and it'll start running. Okay, so this is going to be the system demo for how to get the live plotting and gateway stuff up. So when you have your Raspberry Pi, you don't need this. When you have your Raspberry Pi, you need your mouse, keyboard, HDMI cord that's plugged into the monitor. Make sure your Raspberry Pi is plugged in, and then wait for it to load. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's on, when it's just booted up. Go into the folders at the top. It should automatically go into the home folder. You can see a bunch of different sensor data here. You can see past plotting.py, live plotting, and then gateway. These are the main three that you're going to need. At the top, go into the terminal. This will open up. In order to actually run any of the code, you're going to need to turn off the on boot background program, which just helps it run headless. So to do that, you're going to need to type sudo system control or systemctl stop my Python service. And this will just stop it temporarily. That way the next time you plug in the Pi, it'll restart. After this, you can either turn on gateway.py or live plotting. Gateway will just output to terminal. Just it'll create a new CSV file and try to connect to the IoT hub. Live plotting, looks like this. It will create a live plot and output to terminal. It runs through gateway, so anything that happens in gateway will also happen with this. So you can see node data is being written. It's trying to connect to the IoT hub, and it's telling you when it's writing to the CSV file. So this is what the plot looks like. You can see one sensor is already plugged in, and it's transmitting a signal. This is the number of nodes that we have in the gateway file, that can be changed just by changing the number or the num sensors at the top of the file. And then you have the current time and other stuff.
All right. So to be able to access the various different resources in Azure, first what you would want to do is just in your browser, you can open up Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, type in azure.microsoft.com. Okay, and then either you would click Get Started with Azure or Sign In. Upon clicking Get Started with Azure, you would first need to create a student account in Azure using your university email. Since I already have an account, I would click Sign In. Okay, and after clicking Sign In, you would first want to create an IoT Hub resource. So first you would click Create a Resource. Then you would type in here IoT Hub. Click on the IoT Hub resource. Click Create. You would have your Azure for Students subscription because this would be the subscription you're using with your university email. For resource group, you can either create your own resource or group of resources, which is just like a suite of different resources used for this project. And if you don't already have one, you can create your own. So I'll put it in the existing Capstone one. You can name it. So I'll just name this sample IoT. Okay, so S-Hub. It would have a daily message limit of 400,000, meaning you can only send 400,000 messages as a maximum. Then click Review and Create. Just wait for it to deploy. Right. So to be able to actually add a device to our IoT Hub once it's created, you would first go to your IoT Hub resource. So in this case, I'm going to a IoT Hub resource called Capstone Part 2. I would click Add Device under the Devices tab. I would add a ID of the device. So this is just a name or label for our device. Let's call it our Pi 3B Plus. Just click Save. Okay, so once created, you would click on the device and obtain the, and get the primary connection string. Okay, so you'd copy that to the clipboard, and in our GitHub repository, under the gateway Python script, which is shown in the repository for RF exposure. Okay, so in the repository for RF exposure, you'd go to implementation, then code, then gateway.py. Okay, so here we have a function which would be trying to just put a create a connection to the IoT Hub. And you would input the IoT connection string, so this variable right here. You would be inputting the connection string into. Okay, yes, so you'd be inputting it into this field right here. This was just the connection string from the previous year. You would replace it with your current connection string. All right, so besides this, you would also want to create an Azure storage resource. So you'd again click create a resource, then type in storage. Storage account. And create your own storage account. Okay, again, you would put in your subscription and the resource group you want it in. You would just name this, so you can just, I would name it RPI Storage, RPI Storage 2025. Okay. Okay. Then next. And so what this resource would be doing is storing the CSV files once they are uploaded from the Raspberry Pi to Azure. Okay, so once you've created the storage account for storing your CSV files as well as your IoT hub, you would want to then create something called the Stream Analytics. So you would go to create a resource again, look for Stream Analytics. It would be this one, Stream Analytics job. Click Create. Name your Stream Analytics, so I'll just call it AZ Analytics Capstone. Click Review and Create. Click Create. Just wait for it to deploy. Okay, so once it's deployed, you would be adding inputs and outputs. Since the basic premise of the Stream Analytics is essentially it will allow you to transfer data from one resource to another. Okay, so you'll click on that resource once made. Add inputs also. So you'd go to the Inputs tab, click Add Input. And here you would want to add an input as the IoT hub, since that's where the data would be coming through. Okay, so you would just name your IoT hub right here. We'll just put it as Capstone Part 2, and click Save. So that would just be saving the input. Okay, so that would be saving the input as the IoT hub, which is where we're getting data from. We would then put the output. This is where the data will be put into. That would be our storage account. So you would be adding the Azure storage. Okay, so you would here add storage account. Okay, and we would add the storage account right here just by clicking the drop down or by creating a new storage account. Though in one of the other videos I've shown you how to create a storage account. Then you would click Save. So that's already made right here. After you've added the output and the input, you would go to Overview. You would click Start Job. Okay, and you'd click Start. We'll then be waiting for this starting to just change to running. And what that would mean is that Stream Analytics is streaming all of the data from the IoT hub to the storage account. Okay, and now we see the status has changed from starting to running, meaning that the Stream Analytics job is now running. Okay, so at this point, once this says running, you would be then running the gateway script in the Raspberry Pi to be able to send CSV data from the Raspberry Pi to the IoT hub. And once this is running, this will then send the IoT hub data to Azure storage. Okay. Once you are actually done testing out the cloud connection and storing data in Azure Storage, please make sure to click Stop Job here. Okay, this is quintessential, otherwise you will be billed for a significant amount of money, particularly related to just keeping the Stream Analytics on for a really long time. Okay. Okay, so while that's stopping, that stopped successfully. For us to be able to tell if the data has properly been stored, we would go to our output storage. So this was just the output storage container from last year. We would go to the container which we set all the CSV data to actually collect the data in. And then we would see CSV files actually popping up if the end-to-end connection is proper. Okay, So once you see a new CSV coming up within your storage account, you can download it. And it should be just all of the values of peak and average.